Are you craving a trip on Space Mountain? Well, we've got the next best thing. Welcome to Disney Coast to Coast.
Hey folks, and welcome to Disney Coast to Coast, the ultimate unofficial Disney fan podcast. I'm Jeff DePauli, and welcome to the House of Mouse headlines for the week of July 26th, 2020, brought to you by laughingplace.com, your up-to-date resource for the latest Disney news every day of the week. In this week's news, some more operational updates from Walt Disney World, a step forward for an addition to the Disneyland Hotel, when you may eventually get to see Avatar 2, and more, so let's get to it.
Hear the latest news from the Walt Disney Company in today's House of Mouse headlines.
First up this week is the not-so-unexpected news that this year's Run Disney Wine and Dine Half Marathon weekend will be going virtual. As a result, those who signed up to participate in the Walt Disney World races will be able to accomplish their events at home and still receive their shirts and medals. Meanwhile, those who wish not to take this virtual option can instead opt out for a refund, but runners will need to make their decisions by August 5th. By the way, at this time, the 2021 Walt Disney World Marathon is still on, but Run Disney advises participants to keep an eye out for future updates. Speaking of Walt Disney World, the resort continues to make operational and policy adjustments as it navigates reopening. The latest change closes what many saw as a loophole where they'd be able to walk around the parks maskless as long as they had a snack or beverage in their hands. This was especially prevalent around World Showcase thanks to the Taste of Epcot International Food and Wine Festival. Now, Disney's policy states that masks must be worn at all times unless guests are consuming food or beverages while stationary and while practicing social distancing. This update is also now in effect for Downtown Disney at the Disneyland Resort. So be prepared to follow these new rules if you plan on paying a visit to either resort. Another change that Walt Disney World has recently made is adjusting the distribution times for the immensely popular Rise of the Resistance attraction. Ever since Disney's Hollywood Studios reopened to the public, boarding passes for the ride had been released 3 times a day at 10 a.m., 1 p.m., and 4 p.m. Now, this will drop to 2 times a day, with distributions at 10 a.m. and 2 p.m. According to Disney, this adjustment is being made to better allow guests to plan their days. In any case, it's nice to see that Disney is closely monitoring their operations and tweaking things when needed. In some sad news for sweet-toothed Walt Disney World guests, it seems as though the popular Ample Hills Creamery location at Disney's Boardwalk Resort will remain closed permanently. Additionally, according to Attractions Magazine, the location that was set to open at Disney Springs later this year has now been cancelled. This comes after Ample Hills has recently endured financial troubles and been acquired by Schmidt Industries. So, barring an unforeseen reversal, it seems that guests will need to look elsewhere for their frozen dessert fix on those hot Florida days. It looks as though the Disneyland Hotel is now one step closer to getting a major expansion. This week, the Anaheim Planning Commission unanimously approved Disney's proposal to build a Disney Vacation Club tower at the famed hotel. This addition would be built next to the current Frontier Tower and feature a variety of room types. Currently, there is no word on when the project would begin or when it would be completed, but here's hoping this one ends up working out a bit better than the last Disneyland Resort hotel project. Venturing to the international Disney parks, the Tokyo Disney Resort has announced that a new nighttime spectacular will be coming to Disney Sea. Believe Sea of Dreams will light up Mediterranean Harbor sometime in Oriental Land Company's fiscal year 2021, which for the record stretches until March 31st, 2022. The new show will celebrate the 20th anniversary of Tokyo Disney Sea and will replace the park's now-defunct version of Fantasmic that ran for nearly 9 years. Of course, we'll have to wait and see what happens next before we'll know for sure when Believe Sea of Dreams will premiere, but hopefully it will make its debut sometime next year. Those already looking forward to late next year and were considering a Disney cruise will soon have the opportunity to book their sailings. Starting July 30th for the general public, Disney Cruise Line sailings for fall 2021 will go on sale. Itineraries for this time include returns to favorite destinations in the Caribbean, the Bahamas, Mexico, Bermuda, and Canada. Additionally, throughout the season, families will enjoy itineraries featuring Halloween on the high seas and very maritime cruises across the entire fleet. So if you're done with 2020, and who could blame you, and want to get a jump on next year, now may be your chance. If you're craving a Mickey pretzel or some movie theater popcorn and happen to be in the Los Angeles area, then you're in luck. In an interesting move, Disney's world-famous El Capitan Theater announced this week that it would be offering concessions to go. Guests can choose between individual concessions including hot dogs, candies, ices, and of course popcorn, or select bundles that start at $5. Then you can reserve a pickup time to pick up your goodies. Not only will your purchase give you a taste of the movies at home, but will also support the theater's staff. At the time of this recording, the Concessions to Go program is slated to end on Sunday, July 26th, but could be extended. So check out El Capitan on social media for updates. In other movie news, Walt Disney Studios has announced another round of release date changes as theaters remain closed. First, Disney's Mulan and Searchlight's The French Dispatch have now been removed from the schedule for the time being. Further down the line, the Avatar sequels have each been pushed back yet another year, with Avatar 2 now set for December 2022. In turn, a new Star Wars trilogy will now kick off in 2023. For now, Disney does still have some releases later this year, starting with The New Mutants on August 28th, but we'll have to wait and see if more moves are needed in the coming weeks. This past week, the cast of Disney's 1998 film The Parent Trap reunited on the internet to raise money for the World's Central Kitchen. Moderated by Katie Couric, the event featured actors Lindsay Lohan, Dennis Quaid, Elaine Hendricks, Lisa Ann Walter, Simon Kuntz, as well as writer-producer Charles Shire and writer-director Nancy Myers. During the reunion, the crew discussed meeting each other for the first time, the difficulty of the split-screen process, the loss of Natasha Richardson, and more. If you missed the event, you can find it on YouTube and donate to the World Central Kitchen while you're there. Another program first announced to be part of Disney Plus has made the move to YouTube instead. The first episode of Marvel Storyboards is now available for free on the site, with new episodes arriving on Thursdays. While the first episode featured Hugh Jackman, other guests in the pipeline include Johnny Weir, Bobby Lopez, and more. This is actually the second Disney Plus original series to move to YouTube instead, the first being Star Wars Jedi Temple Challenge just a few weeks ago. In any case, you can watch episode 1 of Marvel Storyboards right now. Sadly, Disney Junior series Elena of Avalor is coming to an end. However, the show will be going out with a bang, wrapping up with a primetime special that will see Elena finally becoming queen. The series will take its final bow on Sunday, August 23rd at 7 p.m., with an episode titled Coronation Day. Additionally, guest stars from Jenny Slate and Mark Hamill to Fred Armisen, Andy Garcia, and others will appear. But if you just can't get enough Elena, be sure to venture back to Disney Coast to Coast episode 617, where I interviewed the show's creator, Craig Gerber, as well as voice actress Jillian Rose Reed. Finally this week, Minnie Mouse has found her new voice. Caitlin Robrock can now be heard as the beloved Minnie in new episodes of Disney Junior's Mickey Mouse Mixed Up Adventures. The actress follows the late Russi Taylor, who voiced the iconic mouse since 1986, bringing the character to life in numerous productions including video games, animated series, and specials, as well as Walt Disney World's Runaway Railway attraction. At this time, Disney hasn't explicitly announced any new projects that will feature Robrock as Minnie, but fans can catch her in the role in upcoming episodes of Mickey Mouse Mixed Up Adventures on Disney Junior. That's going to do it for the news this week, so let's get to this week's Twitter poll where I asked you folks, how many times have you now watched Hamilton on Disney+? Your options were 0, 1, 2, or 3 or more. In last place was 3 or more with only 14% of the votes, followed by 2 times with 24% of the votes, then 0 with 26% of the votes, and the 36% majority of you have watched it 1 time on Disney+. Cast your vote in the Twitter poll every week by following Disney CTC on Twitter. That's Dizney CTC on Twitter. And folks, if you haven't yet checked out this past Wednesday's episode of Disney Coast to Coast, tune in as we discuss the Walt Disney World episode of Boy Meets World. And this upcoming Wednesday, we discuss a new book that has just been released designed to enhance your Star Wars Galaxy's Edge experience. The easiest way to make sure you don't miss any of the magic is by subscribing to Disney Coast to Coast on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you listen to your podcasts. Wherever you search, don't forget, it's Disney with a Z, Coast to Coast. And if you'd like to gain Disney Coast to Coast bonuses and support the show at the same time, join the DCTC community by visiting patreon.com/DisneyCTC. That's patreon.com/DIZNEYCTC. Other than that, folks, have a magical day. Bye!
Thanks for listening to Disney Coast to Coast. Have a magical day.
Disney Coast to Coast is produced and hosted by Jeff DePauli. Learn more about the podcast and become a supporter at DisneyCoastToCoast.com.